put the music a little lower, but then if I turn that lower, you can't hear me, so I need to turn it off, I'm sorry to say. So I was thinking what I would do, you know, to show in a, right now still Daimler, Mercedes-Benz way, how to do your own cardigan. And, you know, I was thinking how to do this thing. You can go into YouTube and get everything you need. You know, it'll explain to you how to knit. It'll explain to you how to finish a seam. It'll explain to you how to do like the edge of something you knit. You know, to make it nice and even and all that. And it has probably different ways. And you know, what I would like to do is you know, explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, you know, because and then in a Daimler way, you know, I'll just finish it off in a Daimler way. So what I did is, first of all, it's easy to finish a seam when you have stripes, because if you have just a little space, you know, that needs to match, you will definitely have everything even at the end. So stripes are perfect. What's not so perfect with them is that there's a lot of threads to be sewn in, and you know, to be protected so it doesn't, you know, shred or like open up again. And so since I'm lazy, you know, if it's just a small spot like this, you know, three stripes, I just pulled the thread up and, you know, kept knitting, so I don't have to then sew, you know, the loose ends into my cardigan. And so now I'm at the end, you know, I finished putting the seam together, and you know, I'm kind of doing things as I go, as I remember them. And you know, I thought I remembered that when I do a raglan kind of sweater, I start putting everything on a round needle. So I did, and then, you know, I almost by the end I was thinking, like, you know, how am I going to put the sleeves? Because if I put the sleeves on my, you know, long round needle, that's never going to fit in between, you know, all these stitches in one, you know. So I tried it anyway and it didn't work. You know, I had like this loop and I had to knit around, but then, you know, of course I had round needles, and you know, they would break. So I need to open up. And of course I could say I made a mistake, I have to open up everything. But the way the thing works is that I know that this thing, it would never let me do this much and then open it all up again. It would never do this. So when I get to this point where I feel I made a mistake, I think like, all right, you know, I mean, I could say I fixed this mistake. Then I know that it's intended. It's something for me, you know, to then use my imagination, creativity, whatever you want to call it, to see, you know, what can I make of it that it makes it even better than what I thought, you know, in the beginning. So this is like the big plan. It's like coming right through me. And so I was thinking, you know, I want to do this festival, and it needs to be special, really special. And you know, we like to put on jewelry, but then there's also people dying, you know, because it's worth so much. So I tried to make a piece of jewelry out of my clothes, you know, and it's like cheap pearls that I get from the store. And you know, this I made pearls. You know, they look like the middle of a street, you know, of a highway, because I keep talking about the freeway to heaven on earth, where we all want to go, you know. So we know how this thing communicates with us. So, you know, this in mind, you know, this is how I create my clothes, and this is supposed to be the piece of jewelry to when it's cold, you know, to wear on top of this dress, or over this dress. So, you know, I have one side finished, and I tried it on naked before it fit. So it's gonna fit because this is pretty tight. And so, you know, this is like half of it, and then, you know, there's going to be, you know, this is what happened with that mistake that I made. You know, usually, you know, this is when you start putting everything on one needle and you knit it together. But I know that it was open because, you know, to put some jewelry here, you know, to put some gold. And so I thought, like, how am I going to do this gold thing now? And then I went and I surfed. You know, this is what you do too, right? I hear this, you know, people are surfing on the internet. So I was surfing, and I went like crochet, give me some stitches, and there popped up a star stitch. And there's a star stitch in knitting and a star stitch in crochet. So I picked the one in crochet because it looks more like a star, and could be a flower too. So, you know, I made these little things, and those I fit in between, you know, the openings of this raglan sweater. And so, you know, this is what I'm going to keep on doing. You can get, you just go into YouTube and you put star stitch crochet, and you get how to do this. And you know, people who want to do this, they probably know how to sew. And what I did is I took this little thing here, and you know, I learned that I sew everything together from the top and not from the bottom, because you know, it comes out so much neater. It's almost like it's well, here it looks like it's there, but it's really like it's a piece of stitch. And what I'm going to do, and I'm sure I don't need to show you, I'm gonna put pearls to cover this, so then it's like a real perfect Daimler kind of thing. And I will probably put clear, you know, so it looks like little diamonds, you know, because you know, diamonds have a big meaning to a lot of people, and I feel Daimler almost feels, you know, like it's a diamond, you know, and it's something special, it's sparkling. And so I put a lot of white pearls there, probably. Maybe I put the color too, I don't know. See, I plan these things, and then as I go, I feel, and I cannot explain that. You know, this is something that you need to try, and it works for me in one way. It'll work differently for you because you're a different person with different goals. So whatever I say, you know, don't take my word for it. Try it out, you know, and if you're not meant to make a cardigan, then maybe you're meant to make a car. And you can do this in the exact same way, you know, you kind of have that in your mind, that's what you want to do, and then you start taking what you know already with what you can get from the internet. I mean, isn't that amazing, you know, what we created for ourselves, you know, to be so flexible, and in that, you know, we don't really need what we have right now in the system. We don't really need the school as we have it, because all it does is, you know, it takes this flow away, because you know, there's old people who think they know everything, and they're trying to squeeze that into these children. Now I know that they mean well, but they're not doing well, because kids know, and especially like I learned now that, you know, we actually evolutionized, whatever you want to call it, we mutated, I don't know what it is, but you know, children have changed. They actually changed, and you know, there's us old folk who try to, you know, press all this information that we have into them. Well, we don't need this anymore. We don't need all of it. Like, not every human being needs to know math, but then there's some they do, because you know, that's what they love to do. And to be quite honest, you know this from when kids are little. And if you're really open, and if you're really honest with yourself, you know, take all these curricula that are out there, you know, away, and just look at the child. The child will tell you. They, you know, and you know, the way I know that they know is because what I did with my children is I exposed them to as much as I possibly could. They did everything. Well, everything I could afford, to some extent, and some of it, you know, was allowed. You know, they were allowed to try, you know, for free. So you know, they did like rollerblading, they did ice skating, skiing, snowboarding, baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, horseback riding, which that is another story we need to talk about, because you know, there's some things that I expose them to that I feel partial about now, you know, and I wasn't perfect. I am not perfect. I will never be perfect. But I think that you know, together we can, if we let all this flow go, you know, and this is what I learned yesterday from Lena and Anna. They know already a lot of things that took me a lot of work to learn from other people. And what I learned also with them is that the things that I learned from other people, they already know, first of all. And what was really, oops, I have my alarm clock on. And maybe this, no, not maybe, I know this is like, you know, a wink from above telling us it's time we let it go, we let it in, you know. It's like, hello, knock knock, I'm here, you know, let me in, let me guide you, because, you know, I hear politicians now, you know, making a plan for all the refugees, and they're not here to make the plan. The plan will come to them, to us, you know. We're much more powerful than your rules and regulations and laws will ever be. Only we need to be told that this is so. And then, of course, you know, Anna and Lena asked me yesterday, well, you say that, you know, the only thing that we're controlled by, there's only one thing. Only one thing. I'll take my glasses off now. I'll tell you why in a minute. But there's only one thing, you know, that keeps this whole thing tight and you know, frustrated and exploding, really, pretty much. You know, I mean, you see it every day on TV. It's exploding right now, world. It's money. And so I say, like, if we take the money out of the system, oh, great. None of this tightness. There's no reason for it to be continued, because there will not be any more like jealousy or hate, and because it's gone. Trouble is that if it's gone, people are like, oh, now what? They get scared, and when we get scared, we either go inside and hide, or we get aggressive. So there could be chaos. But, you know, how much more chaos do you want? You know, it's out there. So I feel possibly, you know, you guys know this, you know, politicians and everybody kind of knows this. You follow that plan too, because there's a higher plan than the plan you want to put into place to control us. And so have some faith and trust that everybody will follow this. If we don't have money anymore, we need to find an alternative way. We need to find a way to still get what we need, produce what we need. Now, one thing I can tell you, to do this takes a lot of time, and to sit all day long on the sewing machine to sew this one after the other, like, you know, we have women, mostly women do. That's just unfair. It's not right. So I feel we need to slow down anyway, because the people that are in a job right now, they're going much too fast, and, you know, they fall like leaves. And so we need to think, what is it that I need? I need very little to get through each season, and I can do this on my own. I'm not saying that everybody needs to do this on their own. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So how can we make this work, you know? So it works for you, and it works for me, and it works for the neighbor, and it works for everyone, everywhere. So this is why I'm making all these clothes, to bring this information in this festival that I created, you know, the Global Home Fly Drive Dancing Festival. It's now, you know, a lot of stuff to be considered. And of course, you know, you're in there, Dr. Zetsche, and the politicians are in there, you know, and leaders are in there. It's just going to be different. And I feel that at the moment, you know, I heard that the speaker, something Boner, in America, he's resigning in October, and I have the feeling that the politicians, as they are right now, they might just resign, you know, and we create something new. How? I'm not here to tell you. I'm here to say it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. And Lena and Anna told me showed me yesterday, you know, how the young people, they're already flowing, you know, they're doing this. And I feel that for me, I would be the bridge. I need to stop now, and I guess I need to make one more tape to explain to you, you know, about the religion and the connection to all this. So thanks for listening.